Observations, questions, and clues.
Mary, household would be illegal. Their choice. I figured if you take care of it,
Observations, questions, clues. Those are the three things we're looking at first.
It was Martha's at work. She was yeah, Mary's like, well, or I think it was Mary's one. But I see like Mary, or Martha's kind of like the older sister. No, so she kind of ran the house, daily house. And so yeah, she probably thought maybe she should take it.
Mary,
Very important.
okay.
You lay down on the job.
Well, let's just say, do we all go sit down?
I don't think he was, he didn't show up.
Yeah, do you think? Who serves the meal?
Yeah, I think he was kind of one.
Yeah.
What? Clues.
Fascinating.
Clues.
What?
Well, yes, do you think that Jesus shows up when he's out? That's why Mary or Martha was doing around. Or was, or did he send a message that said, hey, wait, I went to town?
I think it's kind of. You might have showed up at town, but did you show up at her house on
Yeah, I mean, we're not ready. Look at my house. Look at my house. Look at that.
When he was actually saying. Oh, it made maybe in one day, maybe in one
I think one of the things.
All right, let's pause for just a moment. Let's pause for just a moment. Ken, your group, what observation did you discover?
Martha's the
Martha was
one.
worried about many things. The question is, what were those things that she was worried about? It on the surface, it seems pretty superficial, but there might be something deeper that was, she was concerned about. Mary, on the other hand, has chosen the good thing. And the other thing is, Mary seems almost to be asking for things from God that were kind of self-serving. And while Mary, on the other hand, was asking for the right thing, the spiritual.
Okay.
And I don't know, the little excerpt there where Martha says, Lord, do you not care? That kind of stands out to me. It almost sounds like there's some doubt or something in her. And she maybe has not got the right kind of faith.
Okay. Raymond, how about your group? What observation did you come up with?
Well, sometimes we get a little bit more wrapped up in superficiality
Okay.
and worrying more about everything else as opposed to what the most important thing is. Mary made her choice a long time ago. She chose Jesus.
Okay.
She took the opportunity to spend as much time as she could.
Okay.
Mary was more worried about, one thing was much more worried about how things were going to last. We could all identify with her. We all.
All right. Fred, how about your group?
She was the spokesperson.
All right. The nominated spokesperson, everybody said. All right.
We all agreed that Martha was wanting help. She wanted Mary to the kitchen with her to help her serve. And she questioned Jesus about what was going on. She didn't take it at face value. She started questioning God. And then Mary felt that Mary felt that Jesus may not be with them alone. She maybe had an inkling, this was Bessie, that she may have had an inkling that Jesus may not be with them. And she was more about spiritual things, where Martha was the worldly things.
Okay. All right. Okay. Harold, what are some observations y'all discovered?
She got to know.
Okay. So, we just thought it was interesting that she wanted Jesus to fix the problem instead of addressing Mary herself. Martha went to him, and that Martha was the one that welcomed Jesus into her home initially, and so she, I know if somebody came over to our house, I would want to make sure the house was, in good order. And so she felt a little maybe unprepared for his visit. And so that may have been why she was hustling around instead of sitting down and spending time with him. But I thought it was interesting that instead of going to Mary and saying, "What's up? Help me," she went to him to fix the problem.
Okay. Now listen, y'all can add to your notes by what somebody else is saying. So if they're saying something that you really hadn't thought of that you would like to slide in your notes, please do so. All right, please do that. All right, anything else? That's it?
It's all the time you give us.
Huh?
It's all the time you give us.
All right, ladies, what y'all discovered?
Kind of along the same lines, just that Martha was more about the worldly things going on.
Okay, all right. So here's the next step that I want you to do. Take those observations, okay? Take those observations, those clues, those questions, and let's figure out a way how we can biblically apply that stuff. In other words, application. What's God doing here? And how can we apply that to our life? In other words, what is God trying to do in the life of Mary and Martha? Okay? Does that have any implications to us? All right? We try to apply, what about self? Have we ever found ourselves guilty of focusing on the wrong thing when it's time for just you and Jesus? Okay? So we're looking for some application here. Maybe there's things here that this passage of Scripture says, hey, I need to change some things in my life. All right? Write those down. Then, when you do all of that, kind of decide for yourself, what's the central message? What is the central message here? Y'all have any questions? Just raise your hand. I'll try to go back over this with you. Yes, sir.
Well, what was the purpose of Martha inviting him into the house? Was it to eat or learn?
Good question.
Yeah.
That's a real good question.
Was it a party or was it a learning session?
Good question. Did y'all write it down?
No.
Write it down.
We did write down. I think Martha really wanted to know, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
I feel obligated that I'm to take care of this.
And I'm missing something.
But I can't do both.
So here in a minute, we're going to do these steps, and then here in a minute, I'm going to preach a message. Okay? What this is going to do is kind of get you to look at Scripture, I'm not going to say differently, but more intently. Okay? And this is going to help out in personal Bible study. This is going to help out in quiet time. This is going to be something that you're going to be able to hand down to kids, grandkids. Not everybody in the world has a personal quiet time. What this is doing is it's teaching a way to do that if you don't do that already. Okay? That's what this does. These questions that I'm asking you are questions that I have to deal with every time I prepare a message, every time I write a devotion, every time I go and speak anywhere. These are questions that I deal with in the text every time. Okay? I want you to see this because it really begins to open up Scripture. So take a real hard look at this and see how the application applies to you right here. Okay?
So, what was Martha's real, if it's okay to serve, what was her real problem? What was her, she wasn't getting, this is my personal opinion. She wasn't getting, she's oh, this is such good wine. Oh, she wasn't getting you see, I think that might be the reason that she's upset. She's not. Mary's not listening.
Correct. Go ahead. Like I said, it's not like here is that. Miriam.
Oh, yeah.
Come help me and then we'll put it on.
Because in that answer, who says man is chosen. So, don't blame Mary for her choice. Maybe that's a good. Right, don't blame someone else.
Mary invited them
Be ready for when Jesus shows up. We ought to be ready. That's why he entered the village and, the woman with Martha Locke came into her home. He may have done it now, some of the but she knew he was coming to her house. Her house should be ready.
All right, Sam, what are some things that your group found out?
And you're looking for how your house looks like it's finalized?
Yep.
He is our spokesperson.
All right.
Okay,
Yes.
talk about our quiet time, going to church, serving others.
Okay. Going to church, serving others. Elaborate on the serving part.
On the what?
Serving part, serving others. Yeah.
When you see a need, fill it, help.
Okay. All right.
What?
All right, Eddie, what did y'all discover?
Is that your observation? Aren't you? You're not?
We discovered that things today are a whole lot different than they were 2,000 years ago.
Yes, they have.
You got a few people doing a lot of the work.
Okay.
Of course, you don't know whether those others are worshiping God or not,
Okay.
but it's not up to us to
Right.
decide.
Okay. All right. Mark, how about y'all's group? Who's the spokesperson here? Colton is?
Yes, you were.
Colby's the one that's not shy, right? So she's letting you speak, right?